that's right. That's right, my fellow Deadites and Evil Dead fans and horror film fans. Yeah, that's right. A brand new Evil Dead film is coming out, and it's got a release date. Okay, I'm gonna be reading from MovieWeb. Anyway, it's Sandesh here, and if you could please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I'm gonna get into it now. New Line and Sony have officially set a release date of July the 24th, 2026 for a new Evil Dead film, which will see Dune Part 2 actress and Solaya Yakub, I think that's what her name is, take point as the movie's protagonist. It's been 2 long years since the release of Evil Dead Rise in 2023, great horror film, which went on to gross $147 million at the box office. Before then, there hadn't been a new film in the franchise in 10 years, so it's nice to see that Campbell and Raimi are delivering on their promise to be more consistent with new releases. Per Deadline, New Line and Sony unveiled the newly minted release date for the next Evil Dead movie today, which will be directed by Sebastian Viv. I can't pronounce the director's name. Sorry about that. Fans will recall that the French director's debut horror film, Infested, was a big hit with audiences and Stephen King. I haven't seen the film, by the way, so I can't judge it. When it hit Shudder last year, so he's more than capable of helming an Evil Dead project. As for the title, the director himself revealed last December that it's to be called Evil Dead Burn. I like that. Evil Dead Burn, that's a great title. But you'll find no plot details here, as they're still being kept under lock and key. I'm not surprised about that. It is too early at the moment. Based on the director's comments, however, we can at least glean out a little info as to what we can expect from Evil Dead Burn in 2026. Upon being hired to direct the project, he told New Line that he wanted to make a nasty film, a film that hurts, from which you come away tested. He further revealed in an interview with the Hollywood News that he had complete freedom to write whatever kind of Evil Dead movie he wanted. So it's anywhere, so if it's anywhere near as brutal as Infested, and we're all in for a gory treat. You know something? But the way they're talking about the film that he did, Infested, I might actually watch it. Done because it said that it was because it said that it says here if Infested was brutal and gory, so I think I might actually watch it. He said, I received an email asking me what would you think about writing something for Evil Dead. What would be your Evil Dead? And I like the question because it gave me 100% freedom, so I'm able to write my characters, my story. It was just a proposal at the beginning, and I told them if I had to write an Evil Dead, it would be that, and they liked the idea, and that's why we started working with each other. Um, as if Evil Dead Burns um, wasn't enough for fans to look forward to, there's also another feature film in the pipeline from New Line and Sony, which will be written and directed by Francis Galapi. Once more, plot details for the untitled movie are being kept under wraps, but Galapi did mention to Comic Book last year that he's always been a big fan of the franchise. All I can really say is how much of a fan I am of Evil Dead, how much I really care about this franchise. It truly is one of the movies that made me want to make movies. I'm not just saying that. Fans not familiar with Galupi's work would do well to check out the neo-western crime thriller The Last Stop in Yuma County, which is a phenomenal piece of cinema that is streaming now on Paramount Plus with Showtime. We'll have more news on his Evil Dead film as well as Evil Dead Burns as it becomes available. Okay, so the thing is, it sounds like there's going to be two Evil Dead films then, which is actually a lot, um, which is actually far better news than I imagined. So yeah, I like the fact that Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi are just like they're carefully picking out horror directors and making sure that even that they make an Evil Dead film. But the thing is, what sort of Evil Dead film do you want to make? But the thing is, it has to be like an Evil Dead film, where it has to be like gory and nasty. Because I mean, Evil Dead Rise was just incredible. even though it had nothing to do with Ash and the other and the Evil Dead lore, if you know what I mean. It felt it felt more like a spin-off story, but I actually kind of like that. I actually kind of like that in a way, where they giving them a lot of creative freedom, and it definitely worked with Evil Dead Rise. I'm just so glad that we're actually getting a brand new Evil Dead film, Evil Dead Burns, and that's gonna come out next year, and it's already been dated. That's just fantastic news. But I did not know about an additional Evil Dead film coming out as well. So, I mean, that's just fantastic news if you're an Evil Dead fan, and especially a horror film fan as well. Um, anyway, thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And you could follow me on X, Rumble, and I'm on Patreon, and I'm on Coffee as well. Um, and also, and let me know in the comments if you're an Evil Dead fan, and which Evil Dead films are your favorite as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.